Welcome to United We Stand. I'm your host, Burton Wolf, and United We Stand is a show that deals with multicultural topics, events, things that impact HCC, our city of Houston, the state of Texas, actually the United States and the world at large. And today we have a real special show. It's kind of a celebratory show. It's our last show for the season, or next to the last show of this season, and we're discussing a musical, the Tale of Kieu musical. And it's based on a poem written by a great Vietnamese poet. His name is Nguyen Du, and we have special guests. I'm surrounded by beautiful women today. I'm just so excited. So first I'd like to introduce you to Kieu, and she is a principal at Stafford Elementary School and also vice president of the Vietnamese Culture and Science Association. Nice to have you here, Kim.
Same here. Glad to be here, Burton.
Great. And on my right side, your left, I think, I have T. And T is an actress, a fabulous actress who plays a lead role in this show. And next to her, V, who plays the same role. It's interesting, but they were both so talented, we had to double cast the show. You're going to learn a little bit more about the show, but first let's show you a little bit of the video documentary that was made about the musical Tale of Kieu. The Tale of Kieu is pretty remarkable how we got into it. I think there's magic in life and there are no accidents.
Practice every day. We have like maybe one day of break.
Bà con coi xong cái vở kịch Kiều này rồi đừng có ghét hai anh em tụi tôi, tại ngoài hai anh em tụi tôi rất là hiền quý vị ơi.
I want this musical to be great, and I want this to be big.
Back with our guests. I'm Burton Wolf, your host to United We Stand, and we have the real deal here. Actresses from the show, The Tale of Kieu musical. We have Kieu, who is principal of Stafford Elementary School, where they are having a wonderful bilingual program teaching young people Vietnamese, Chinese, and English, of course. And today's topic is the musical, which is a bilingual musical. It's actually performed in Vietnamese and English. And so let's start with two of our famous actresses in the show. I'd like to introduce you, viewing audience, to T and to V. And they're playing the same role, not at the same time, but for different performances. And the reason why they are is because they were both so talented. We decided to give them both the opportunity and to give us the opportunity to have them both play the role. So what's been your experience, T, with doing this show?
Well, the experience has been amazing. You meet so many new people. You go to auditions to just really not knowing what to expect.
Right.
And when you get into it, you just meet so many new people, and you finally realize that these people kind of become your family, and you just do it because it's, you know, everyone's just come together and just love what the story is about.
It's really true, because we rehearsed with the cast for over a period of months, and now we're redoing the show again.
Yes.
The show is going to take place May the 7th in Dallas, which will be fun, and here in Houston at the Wortham Theater at the University of Houston. And we get a chance to regroup and do the show, and we're rehearsing evenings. And the wonderful thing about the show is if you only speak Vietnamese, you can understand it. And if you speak English, you can understand it. And V, what's been your experience of working on the show?
Long hours of rehearsals, but definitely even with the stressful, you know, moments, and also just hang out with the cast members and all that. But seeing the results and seeing how the audience feedbacks were such an amazing experience for all of us.
It was pretty amazing. You got standing ovations at every performance. After every performance. Did you pay those people to stand up?
No.
No, they really loved you and they loved the show. Now let's talk to Kim Vu, who is an educator herself, Vietnamese. And Kim, what's the background of The Tale of Kieu? What can you tell us about this poem, the poet?
Well, I can say this. The Tale of Kieu is a significant piece of literature in Vietnam, and it's a classic, considered the Shakespeare of the Vietnamese literature. So those that grew up in Vietnam had to all go through high school learning about the Tale of Kieu.
I have people here in Houston that can come up to me and recite the poem.
Absolutely.
And it's over 3,000 lines. It's an epic poem, so it's over 3,000 lines long, and people have it memorized to this day.
Absolutely, and it is because it's ingrained in you. I was not brought up in Vietnam. I came to the United States when I was 7. So unfortunately, I didn't know about the Tale of Kieu until very recently. And it's a great thing that we're having this production because it allows us young Vietnamese Americans to learn about our culture and learn about the literature that is so very important and a part of the Vietnamese culture.
Really, the Tale of Kieu poem has been studied at Yale University, actually analyzed and studied. UNESCO has called this one of the greatest works of literature, and it is a beautiful poem. Now, taking it and turning it into a Broadway-style musical is another story with a lot of challenges. What do you think, T, some of the challenges have been?
Some of the challenges, so many people has come to me and asked me, did you know what the Tale of Kieu was when you were auditioning for it? I said no, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But when you get into it, you read the story, and just the experience with this story, it hits you just everyday life. But from the experience so far, it's just been amazing.
Well, wonderful. How about singing in Vietnamese and singing in English? V, was that difficult for you?
No, actually, I was, luckily, I knew both language fluently. But for other members, cast, when you're going to a, you know, especially Broadway show kind of musical, it's different. It's not just like a pop song or anything like that where you can just kind of mimic it. For a Broadway show, you have to learn how to pronounce it in a certain way. You have to make sure it's how the director wants to see it, and also the composer. So it was a challenge for all of us.
Right.
But definitely it's something new that you learn. And
let's look a little bit more of the video from the show, and then we can focus in on some of the other challenges from the Tale of Kieu musical.
Day ends and night descends, incense to burn and lanterns to light, dancing in front of the moon tonight. Đời tôi ca nhi đây đã sống thương đau, đời cô như tôi sẽ như tôi.
A sweet kiss.
Should this moment be missed, chẳng sau khi ở cờ vì sao cùng vui hát mừng.
Now is the time for rejoicing.
Our love must be real. These dreams come alive.
Yêu cho đàn ông lòng thêm say đắm, yêu cho đàn ông được sương vui trong lòng nhiều, dám mong nhiều khi thật dối gian như là củi, lắm kẻ tư phong làm cho ta chán chê. Love for sale, yes, our love for sale. The schemes of the day are the dreams of the night.
Kim chẳng hơi ta lối yêu với chẳng thôi. Đời từ đây mất anh, lòng vẫn yêu mãi thôi. And now, friendly knife, take my life.
You thought you'd get away, now you see my power. You and to buy the toll you pay, you never leave again.
Buồn vui hay hờn ghét không cho ta an bình, cầu mong cho đại chúng quên hờn ghen. Dù ai đêm ganh ghét mang tình yêu ra đền bù, ngước nhìn hào quang và lòng tràn vui sống từ đây. Enjoy, let us live today. Enjoy, let us live today.
Water so calm, let my soul float away. Kind sea come and my days.
The great waste mind, open to everything.
Trái tim mở lớn để yêu và yêu mọi người.
The great waste mind, which doesn't cling to anything.
Sẽ đi khắp mọi hướng, hòa lên muôn lời ca hòa bình.
The great waste mind, protecting every living thing.
Và trái tim mở lớn để chúng ta yêu sẽ yêu tha thiết.
Radiant and clear, the spirits of the
Welcome back to United We Stand. I'm Burton Wolf, your host, and we have a very special show today. We're talking about the musical you just saw footage from. It's called The Tale of Kieu. It's based on a poem, a Vietnamese poem that was written 200 years ago. And the performances are going to take place in Dallas on May 7th, 2 o'clock performance and a 7:30 performance. And then the following week, May 14th and 15th, right here in Houston at the Wortham Theater at the University of Houston. Sitting with me are some wonderful, beautiful, lovely guests. I'm very fortunate and blessed today. And with me on my right, I have T, who is an actress from the show, playing the role of Kieu. And next to her is an actress with the, well, we have the nickname V, and V also plays Kieu in the show. And on my left, I'm privileged to have Kim Vu. Kim is an educator. She's the vice president also of the Vietnamese Culture and Science Association. And that's a wonderful organization, not only here in Houston, with branches in Toronto, in Dallas, and many other places. And we'll learn more about the Vietnamese Culture and Science Association shortly. Right now, we're going to take a break. And so we'll be back with the Tale of Kieu musical, United We Stand, and these lovely guests in just a moment.
Every year, mothers lose their babies to gun crimes. You'll always be your mother's baby. So before you commit a gun crime, think about who you'll leave behind. Gun crimes hit home.
We're back talking about the musical Tale of Kieu, or the Tale of Kieu musical. Tale of Kieu musical. I only wrote it, I don't remember. In any case, it's been created by a lot of HCC people. Dr. Scott Gaiman is the composer of the music, and the costumer for the show is Hung Fan, and she teaches fashion design here at HCC. We have some actors in the show also from HCC, and that's Viet Nguyen, and also Becky Nguyen, not related. So there's a great number of HCC people connected with the cast, but today we're speaking to two of the actresses who are very involved with the show. They played the lead female role. And T, you're playing Kieu, and V, you're also playing Kieu. T, what is this double casting all about?
Well, since there was a big old casting call, and so many people showed up, and the director couldn't help but had to double cast the show because he couldn't decide who to choose. And so, no, but for real, the show, there's a lot of shows, yeah, but really there was so much talent in the Vietnamese Houston community. And so he wanted to give just, you know, everyone a chance to be on stage and just split the shows up. So I have a slot, and then she has a slot because each day there's 2 shows, so we split the shows up. So that's how it works. Not all of the cast are double casted, but most of the cast members are.
Right, just a tremendous amount. What we did was have something like American Idol on Vietnamese television. It was called Kieu Idol, and over 100 people came and auditioned. And then I was told that 5,000 people text message in who they wanted for the roles. So you actually had a big supporting group of fans before they even saw you in the show, which was great. Hey V, tell me about English Vietnamese, because the show is in both languages. And was that difficult for you?
No, it wasn't difficult for me. I guess I was the lucky one to kind of know both language. But in terms of the rehearsal, it was fun to see everyone sing one song in Vietnamese and one song in English, so that the judges can, you know, kind of preview of how they will do in the Broadway show.
Great. You know who had a difficult time? That was Linh. Linh Phong is the music director, and she had to translate my English lyrics into Vietnamese. And the problem is that the translation has to match the meter of the music, the melody of the music, and also translate accurately from the English, so that in the Vietnamese language, certain words go up and certain words go down. Also, you have Northern Vietnamese, Middle Vietnamese, and Southern Vietnamese. So Linh had a wonderful task, but she did a great job with it.
Yes.
Good. Well, we're going to take a break, and after the break, we'll get into the Vietnamese Culture and Science Association and Kim Vu, who's sitting next to me, because it's a great organization. We support them with this show, and they support great culture. We'll be back shortly.
Today is a special day. Today we gather as a nation and as an international community to recognize the selfless decision of one of the most influential women of our time. She's been recognized by religious figures and politicians around the world. To us, she's just Rachel, but to the rest of the world, she is the woman who, after having one too many drinks, chose not to drive home buzzed. Here today to honor Rachel is the family whose lives she spared.
Welcome back. I'm Burton Wolf, your host. We're talking about the Tale of Kieu musical in Vietnamese and English. It's going to be performed at the Wortham Theater here in Houston on Saturday the 14th and Sunday the 15th, with performances at 2 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. And I would like you all to meet Kim Vu, who's an educator, and she's vice president of the Vietnamese Culture and Science Association. And that organization is a beneficiary of this show, and for very good cause. So let's inform our audiences a little bit about VCSA. Kim Vu.
Thank you, Burton. Well, VCSA has been in existence for about 20 years. It was founded in 1991, and as of right now, we have over 600 members across the United States and Canada. We have expanded to 8 chapters all over the United States, 3 chapters in Texas, Dallas, Austin, and of course the parent chapter is in Houston. And our core values are leadership, culture, education, excellence, and volunteerism. And as you can see why I'm passionate about VCSA, it's because I'm an educator myself. And what's very unique about VCSA is it is a intercultural, intergenerational organization. Our members are teenagers and ranging in age from in the early teens to all the way up to in the 70s, 80s, yes. And so, and we all work together to just do many community projects that promote the community, the volunteerism, and to promote leadership in our young people.
Well, you just invited me to a fabulous ballet, and why don't you tell everyone about it? I just saw it last weekend, and it was just beautiful. Talk about the theme of the ballet, the performers, and the choreographer, who's really very talented.
Sure. Tang Dao is the choreographer for the program, White Imprint. It is a ballet which is very unique because it is a ballet which is a mainstream art. However, the music is sung live by one of our legendary singer, Miss Khánh Ly, and it's through 10 songs, it describes the exodus of the Vietnamese people after the Vietnam War, and just the journey, the arduous journey that they had to endure to come to America. And Tang is quite a talented young man, and he captured the story so well through a medium of art that is quite unfamiliar to our culture. So again, because VCSA, one of our core values is culture, we of course always promote such program as White Imprint, and also that we're proud to be a sponsor and a beneficiary of the Tale of Kieu.
Well, you mentioned something that's very interesting. You said that ballet is not necessarily a form of entertainment or art that the Vietnamese community is really exposed to a lot. And the reason why we did the Tale of Kieu musical in Vietnamese and English was to make sure the older generations could understand it. And of course, our younger generations and college-age Vietnamese students here at HCC and other places could absolutely understand the English part. So there's a real match in the work that we're doing and the work of VCSA, the Vietnamese Culture and Science Association. I've met a lot of your members. You're doing a great job, and certainly the ballet was terrific. We're going to be doing another show in the fall called The Boat People, Freedom Sings, and we may be working with your choreographer also. Let's talk a little bit more about the Tale of Kieu musical. So, ladies, what was the highlight of the production so far for you? And let's start with T.
Okay. The highlight of the production for me was to see just the outlook of everything, when everything came together and when we performed and everyone's reaction to the show. It was just an amazing feeling.
It was.
Just the applaud, the standing ovation, and because of the hard work that we put ourselves through, this experience and this project, to see how everyone appreciated and just loved the performance just means a lot to us.
Well, that was great. And for me to see your growth and all the actors' growth in the show, because you became really professional performers. And Kim, do you see the show?
Yes, and I was one that did the standing ovation. It was absolutely beautiful. I was amazed at the talent that we have in Houston. I was amazed at your work and how the production. What's amazing that my kids can come and enjoy it and can understand the show, but I can also at the same time bring my mom, my parents' to come and also enjoy the show at the same time. So that was in itself a first time, a unique aspect of the Broadway show.
Great, great. Well, it was a success. We hope that the reprise, the encore performances at the Wortham Theater at the University of Houston, coming up real soon on the 14th and 15th of May with performances at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock. You all will come and see it. Kim, when you saw the production, you actually saw the production of the Tale of Kieu musical, what worked for you? What was the result for you, your family, your friends?
Well, I have to say I was one that gave a standing ovation. It was beautiful. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was unique in that it was bilingual, where I can bring my children with me and they can understand the show, and at the same time I can bring my elderly mom with me and she can also understand the show. It was a great production, the dancers and how you all put it together and it all synced. Most importantly, the culture aspect, the literature aspect that was provided for the audience, especially for the younger generation. I think that was very important to me as an educator, so I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. What about the characters in the show?
There's so many of them. But
what were your favorite characters?
One of my favorite is going to be Ma Yam-sin. The reason to that is, you know, Tale of Kieu is basically a story about Kieu life, how it started out good and then she went through all the bad situations and then ending with good again. But throughout the pain and the, you know, difficulties that she had to go through, the main character that actually gave the audience all that anger and crying for Kieu is Ma Yam-sin, and that's why.
And that's your favorite character. Well, Win Zhu is talking about karma and talking about fate and how Kieu goes through her life, and it's karmic and it's fateful, and in the end, she's reunited with her family. You can find out about the Tale of Kieu at the website, which is www.taleofkieu. That's TALEOFKIEU, taleofkieu.com. And also you can get tickets through the Vietnamese Culture and Science Association. And Kim, what's that number? How do they do that?
Yes, and we're very happy to be the sponsor and benefactor of the Tale of Kieu. You can get tickets at 281-933-8118. That is the number to our VCSA office.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, viewing audience. We hope to see you at the musical Tale of Kieu. Thank you.